Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And in this video, I wanted to go into a few things dealing with a post that I saw. Okay, a post that I saw. I'm trying to pull it up here on my computer. But it was put up by the elder Yashawamba, all right, on his channel, Remnant Saved 144. Okay, and it was dealing with, when you can string different posts together. And this one in particular, I'm trying to see if I can find it. I'm not sure if I'm hoping it's still here. There we go. So this one in particular, there's one of them that shows, it says humans, and that I'm going to use that as the cover screen for this video. And it says humans weren't made to, and then it lists, a few things down here. Now it says, one of them says, sit at the desk 9 to 5, come home every night to watch Netflix, explore the world for only 2 weeks out of the year, have zero creativity, have every single aspiration beaten out of them. There's so much more to life. Okay, and the scriptures speak about that because, ultimately, starting, really with the nation of Israel, because when you have a thorough understanding of the Bible, you'll find out that really everything was created. The Lord created all these things, for his people. All right, even the other nations that were created, they were created for his people. But yeah, when we were created, all right, we weren't created to be the reason that we sit at desks. You do 9 to 5s. You're stuck in this cycle of 9 to 5s, Netflix, little vacation time, zero creativity, the life being sucked out of you, is because we're in captivity. All right, and in this society, that's what they promote. They don't promote questions and thinking for yourself and freedom. All right, they promote captivity and more so a conditioning. All right, to to make your mind, all right, captive. Okay, to hold your mind captive so that you're not free in the mind. Even if you don't have physical chains on your body, you have them on your mind. You have them on your aspirations. You have them on your creativity. So you can't think outside of the box. All right, the box that they want you to think in. But I'm going to go through a few precepts to show that that's not how we were created to be, and that's not how we're going to live. And ultimately, this is why, we need salvation. All right, because there's a whole planet and planets and different things that the Lord has made for us to explore and to utilize and to actually, deal with. Okay, but here it is. But a fraction of those things we're allowed to even, interact with. While these devils go around sucking the life out of everything else. That's not the proper order. That's not how the Most High made it. Okay, so I want to start off here with the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 23. And it says, for God created man to be immortal. And this is dealing with the Israelite man. And in the kingdom, we're going to go back to this state of being immortal. And that's going to start when Yahushai, all right, the Messiah, who the world calls Jesus Christ, when he comes back and takes this place down and delivers his elect. All right, he's going to make his elect immortal again. But this time it's going to be on the state, in the godlike state. So it says, for God created man, the Israelite man, to be what? Immortal, and made him to be an image of his own eternity. And then a God or an immortal, being isn't supposed to be subject. The reason we were made to be immortal is because the glory of the Lord, all right, is beyond searching out. So living for 100 years or 200 years is not gonna even come close to being enough time to even search out but a fraction of what the Lord has. And he created these things for us to enjoy. Hence the name of the earth, Aidan, is paradise. Is for us to enjoy. But in this state that we are in, we cannot enjoy that. All right. And the Lord doesn't want us to be in this state, but it's necessary as a punishment. Okay, now it says here, nevertheless, through envy of the devil came death into the world, and they that do hold of his side do find it. And that's ultimately why, when you read in the book of Genesis, you had the serpent that came up in there, because the word devil means deceiver. All right. And through his envy of us, he deceived us into losing that immortality, into leaving our first estate. And now when you go through from that time on down, we started to fall. All right. Nepal, we fell from our estate. And this is what the punishment that the Lord had bestowed on us, starting with Adam. Now, this is Genesis 3:17. It says, and unto Adam, he said, because see, there was a point where you didn't have to break your back and lose, just go, put in all this work and energy just to get so little. There was a point where you had a abundance without having to do much. But after that disobedience, we lost that. All right. And now we spend the most of our life, whether, young to mid, whatever. By the time you retire, you don't have the energy or the life to really utilize to enjoy whatever it is you may have, if you have anything. All right. So now we spend what little time that we are given on this earth, in this cycle of, like I just read this post. Sitting at a desk 9 to 5, you're wasting your youth, you're wasting your energy. But then again, they've made it to where it's necessary if you want to be able to go on, if you want to survive, if you want to, work in order to pay bills and buy what you need to buy. See? So it's like whether you want to or not, you sort of, trapped in here by design, by systematic design. It says here, Genesis 3:17, and unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree. Salakia, I'll be right back. Salakia. All right. So it says here, and unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow thou shalt eat of it all the days of thy life. There you go. You see? In sorrow, thou shalt eat, thou shalt not, slakia, in sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. And so when you even applying that to today, when you look at the hardships we have to go through, especially being Israelites, just to be able to get by, and put food on the table and, keep a roof over your head and pay for the little things here and there that you need, it's difficult. It's sorrowful. It's stressful. As the scriptures say, you're working to put, money into a pocket full of holes, a bag full of holes. And it's like as soon as you get it, it's gone. But we weren't meant to live like that, but it's a punishment put on us. Verse 18, thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, meaning until we die again. So in that time span that we've been given, all right, which originally was forever, but it got cut down. Within that little span, Jake lived now like what, 70, 80, 90, if that. And you got to spend the majority of that time working. He says, for out of it was thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. But we're the chosen people. The Lord created everything for us, and yet look at where we at. Okay, where watching Netflix is supposed to be, some sort of a relief, some little leisure, which if you compare that to what we're actually supposed to be doing, that's sad. But based on the situation and the condition we're in, you'll take it, right? Spending 2 weeks for vacation. That's if you could travel. That all this restrictions on life is not how we were meant to be, to live. And that's why we fight so hard for this truth, because along with this, Yahweh Shai's return and this salvation is us breaking free. He's going to break us free from this captivity. All right. From these restrictions and, this oppression. Psalms 82:6 says, I have said ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High. See? But here it is. You got us slaving whatever jobs it is that Jake got, because it's not like high end jobs because of how society is set up. But we're supposed to be gods. Gods rule. They judge. They govern. They're on a high level. All right. But here it is. It says what? But ye shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. So that's why, we're ultimately in this predicament all over again, here in 2020. Salakia. Wow, I'm tripping. Here in 2022. Okay. So moving on, this is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 14. And ultimately, so when you see Jake, in this society trying to make it, and they get happy when they get a little crumbs here and there. It's like, bro, we're created to live, on a much grander scale than this. And that's where our mind is. That's where our ambition is. We're working to find that path and continue on it so we can reach our full potential and live the life we were created to live as Israelites, as sons of the power. Okay? Not having quote unquote jurisdiction over a block, or I own this block, or I got this here. No, that's not it. That's not it. I drive this car and I do this. That's not it. No. All right. We ain't even supposed to be dealing with no cars. What's a car compared to a chariot? There's planets out there. Worried about a block, apartment building. You see, it's such, they've put us on such a low level. And this is Hebrews chapter 13, verse 14. It says, for here we have no continuing city, but we seek one to come. Yeah, because this is not our rest. That's actually, I'm going to get that later on, but we don't have a continuing city over here. We don't have a rest. We don't have a home. All right. We're in the land of our captivity. We're pilgrims. Okay. We've been cast out of our land, and we've basically lost our heritage. Now we're coming back to it. Okay. Now we're coming back to it. So, that's why we're fighting so hard for it. So when people try to come against us, they don't understand really, the core of it. And that's why the scriptures say that I have not seen, neither ear heard. All right. Neither has it entered into the minds of men what the Most High has, in store for us, because we have never at any point been exposed to what we're going to be exposed to, the kind of life we're actually going to live. See, in the kingdom, we're going to understand fully how we were meant to live, how life was meant to be, how it's meant to be governed, how you are supposed to properly do things. We're going to learn the proper ways and the proper order of life to be able to, to maximize it to the fullest, to live to the fullest, to utilize the herbs and the different, creations that are out here to the fullest in the right way. Okay, not in the way this devil has taught us, because majority of his ways is not how it's supposed to be done. There are certain things the Lord has created that you're supposed to use without really harm coming to it. But Esau does it in a way where the second you touch it, it's done. It's destroyed. And without him realizing the true purpose of it. Okay? But once again, the reason we don't have a continuing city here is because the Lord casts us down from that excellency. All right, this is 2 Peter 2:4. It says, for if the Most High spared not the angels that sinned, which is talking about us, all right, but cast them down to hell, meaning down to the earth, to be subject to death. It says, and delivered them into the chains of darkness, which are these bodies, these fleshly mortal bodies. And they are truly chains of darkness, because they like it says, to be reserved unto judgment. We're stuck in these conditions, all right, having to be susceptible to sicknesses and ailments and wicked thoughts and things that you ought not to do. As Paul said, the thing I want to do, I do not, and the thing I don't want to do, that I do. For it is not I that sinneth, but sin that dwells in me. See? But when Yahushua comes back, guess what? All that is going to be broken. That curse is going to be lifted. And we're gonna go back to being how we were created to be, in its perfection. Having understood what happens, or what it's like to live, under the curse of the Lord, and then we're gonna truly appreciate what it's like to live under the blessings of the Lord. So lastly, this is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. And that's what we've done. All right, mentally and spiritually, we're in this world, but not of this world. Our minds and our spirits are not connected with this world, because we've departed. We're looking for another. We're looking for the next one to come, because we know this is not our rest. We know this place is what? Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. And you can see a perfect example in our people. They made this place their rest, and therefore it has polluted and destroyed them. And that's an example of us, not of what we shouldn't do. Because at one point we were in the world. We were destroyed. We were polluted. But the Lord, blessed us and took us out of that, all right, and allowed us to depart and realize that this isn't our rest. Okay, so people may say, oh, you're wasting your life, you're wasting your time, you're doing this and yada, yada, yada. Well, guess what? It's all for a reason. It's all for a very valid purpose and a reason. And the world is going to find that out when Yahushua makes his return. Okay, so with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakak Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.